Do you know who I am? I'm Jordan Peterson, oftentimes a leader for men that are very insecure. You're listening to The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. You have to ask yourself why. It must be some sort of compensation. Do you have a tiny peanut? Just curious. I'm genuinely curious. Not all peanuts are big. I have a tiny peanut myself. That's why you find me compensating. Well, enough about my tiny peanut. Let's enjoy The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. 2 for 2 big peanuts.
Oh, thank you, Jordan Peterson. I mean, you got one thing right. Yeah, 2 for 2 big peanuts.
Something we can all agree on. So that's nice. Whoever the hell that is, by the way.
Jordan Peterson, dude. I don't know if I'm offended that you don't know who he is. I'm just surprised.
Does he look kind of like the most interesting man? Like a gray-haired dude?
Kind of, but with cancer. He's kind of sickly looking. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. All right. Well, hey, I'm glad he likes the show.
Either way. Yeah, I'm glad he likes it too. You can be a part of this peanut gallery, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome one, welcome all to The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. And thanks for being here.
I watched a porno orgy the other night called The Peanut Gallery.
You fun. Did? Wow.
No, I did not. But now that I've said it, I'm sure there's 7, peanut galleries already have been produced in the last hour. So
yeah, I'm sure.
Check them out.
I'm sure.
Kennedy said something to me the other day, like something like, one of your porno movies, huh? And I was like, they're not my porno movies, nor do I have a box like in my closet or anything. But like,
Has there been any conversation about, like, with this conversation at all? Does she watch porn? Has she ever told you?
Yeah, so no, there has been no real in-depth conversation. I just assumed it was implied, consented to, okay, and whatnot. And we on the show, which is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, we'll remind everyone momentarily, months ago, we posted a video about some woman that said that all women watch porn, like it's a common thing. It was about Nikki Glaser, I think, making a joke about women watching porn.
Right.
And I asked her, because a bunch of women on there were like, we all watch porn, all of us do. And I was like, no, you don't all, so don't go make assumptions. But she was pushing back on the notion. I said, okay, so what's the answer? Do you watch porn? She was like, not really. I read romantic fantasy stuff, and I have an active imagination. But she did not confess to actually sitting down and watching porn on any active level. I mean, she referenced having seen it in her life, but
sure,
yeah. So no,
it's interesting.
And when she brought it up, I wasn't sure if there was some inference of that it was a negative or anything, but
just kind of neutral about it is what it seems like. I still believe that girl who said most women watch porn. I mean, I think if we took a survey, I think we would find out that, especially if it was an anonymous survey, I think that's the deal, dude. It's like some women are fine admitting, yeah, I watch porn, I love porn, or whatever. But there's a lot of women who I think watch porn, but don't necessarily talk about it. Like, it's shameful. You had somebody you knew that felt that way.
Yeah, you just used a couple of words there. Some women, most women, and the original was all women. The comment that I pushed back on was this woman saying all women watch porn. I'm like, no, all does anything. No, all men do this or all women do that. There's no all for anything other than maybe breathing. So I pushed back on that notion. Now, what you said, do most women watch porn? And what is the definition of watching porn? Like, I've seen one here and there versus on a weekly basis, I'm watching porn.
I bet most women either have at some point in their life or do flick their bean to porn.
But again, that's a wide spectrum you just said. Have at some point versus a regular thing. To me, if you're a porn watcher, there has to be consistency to it. It would be like me saying I'm a building repeller because I did it once.
It's not that drastic, dude. What I'm thinking is at 75, do you envision yourself still sitting down at the computer or with your tablet or whatever watching porn?
Well, as I said to Kennedy when she brought it up, you're not here 24/7. People have needs. So if I'm in a committed relationship where we're both around each other all the time, I just by default don't watch much porn because there's no need.
So when I'm 75, think you'll still be jerking it then?
At 75, if I'm home alone for an extended period, I would goddamn hope so. Why wouldn't I be? What's your inference?
My inference is either you're going to have penile softiosis or you're going to not have any interest in it.
God, I hope I don't mature out of sex. I literally was just reading an article about we've talked about it before, like the increase in STIs, sexually transmitted infections amongst the 65 plus crowd. Like there's a whole bunch of old folks banging away, and I see no reason I would not be in that category come the 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah, you're right. Whenever I'm listening to Stern, I mean, he still talks about his porn viewing habits all the time. I think he's nearing 70. I think he is.
That's a great question. Hey, Siri, how old is Howard Stern? Wow. 70
How much?
years old. Spot
70.
on. Nice
right.
job.
Yeah. Thank you,
Siri.
Yeah.
Champion.
Yes. So he still talks about like watching babysitter porn and the type of porn he likes. He's still seeking categories out and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's hope for you, Stephen.
Oh, there's definitely hope. There's no doubt about that. So.
What you watch may become different.
Hot granny sex.
Well, it could be.
That's fair. I try to keep it relative to my current existence. So yeah. Right now, I'm watching super awesome, attractive people porn because I want it to be relatable to my life.
How'd you get access to my videos, dude? Hey, dude, by the way, welcome to the podcast, The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Obviously, we have a webpage, thevocalminority.net. But wait, there's more.
Oh, good golly. The social medias. Oh, the fun happening there. So we've been mentioning recently that YouTube and TikTok are our biggest and best, and they definitely are. Not so much so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Reddit, though, recently, Reddit's a weird little universe because it's all page-oriented and top-oriented. So, I've been trying to find a little niche for us out there, and I found one for politics that has been doing well. A couple of our videos. They don't track views there, but it's, hundreds of likes and hundreds of comments, which has to equate to even more views than that. And that's been cool. But we just posted our first meme the other day just because I found this political meme page and I thought, I do have something of ours that is meme-ish, so I posted it. It was basically us replying to a conservative hate group out there, and we had a particularly funny little comeback and burn. So I thought, hey, let's post it and to see if anyone notices. It's now up to over 6,000 likes. It's been shared about 1,000 times. There's like 1,500 comments on it. I mean, the thing went freaking crazy. It's hilarious.
Which is awesome, dude. I mean, it shows to a clever comment that you made, but it also shows to like the attention span. Like it's just a meme I can look at real quick, But that's awesome, dude. Way to find that little niche.
Yeah, so it's all out there. And we did have some other political page reach out to us on TikTok. They said, hey, we found you on Reddit. Now we're looking at your TikTok page. Like, keep up the good work. So
nice.
We're on the socials. Go find it. Comment and share, repost, do all that fun stuff for us.
We always appreciate that. Busy week it has been. I'm speaking like Yoda today. Busy week it has been. News-wise. So shall we jump into it?
Yes.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special.
Here is a news bulletin. We interrupt this program to bring you
the humanity and all the things. A date which will live in infamy. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Steve Harness.
I do have a Star Wars analogy. Hopefully I'll get to later. I have such a long list of news, but that's a teaser for you.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Everyone thinks of Star Wars as being futuristic. Would you agree with that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's 1976, I think, was the release of Star Wars. It was definitely futuristic for that. And I mean, they're doing shit we can't do now. So, yeah.
But Star Wars happened in the past, not in the future. It's what it says at the start of every movie. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Doesn't that blow your mind? That was in the past.
Wow, dude. I've never thought about that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's because we're a speck in this universe, and it's completely plausible that other ends of the cosmos are more advanced than us, even though it's in the past to us. They could be more futuristic. Like, I don't mean to blow everyone's mind, but ponder that.
You did it early today, so.
Right. But my point is, Star Wars has a lot of, talking robots and I assume artificial intelligence. And that's the world we're living in right now, where AI is becoming a really big thing. And it's shown some good uses for sure. And then everyone's worried it's going to kill us all. Yin and yang.
Yes, yeah, from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Right. It makes some hilarious pictures and country, music video parodies. It may also rise up and destroy humanity. So we're trying to keep that stuff in check. But Mark Cuban, who is a billionaire that's relatable to us all. Mark Cuban seems like a good down-to-earth sort of dude who never brags about being a billionaire, which is why he always has said that he knows Trump is not. Because he says us billionaires don't brag about it.
We don't spend any time talking about it. Yeah, he seems like he's got a heart, right? Because, he helps people get cheaper medication. I mean, Mark Cuban seems like a good dude. Who knows? He got freaking lucky, dude.
Was it luck? Is that an actual assertion, or what do you mean?
I shouldn't say that there was no hard work involved. I don't mean that. But a lot of people work hard and never make it, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that, he's smart. I like the guy, but there was some luck involved, timing.
Yes, I would say good timing for sure. So, yeah. But, Mark Cuban's been calling out Donald Trump a lot, which I give him credit for. But he's also been going kind of head-to-head with Elon Musk, who he says he does not actually despise as a person like he does Trump, but he's got a big problem with a lot of what Leon Musk is doing.
I was like, who are you talking about, dude? I don't even know who you're talking about.
Right. We got to speak in Trumpinese here. So Leon Musk is... he's doing a lot of evil things. He is definitely a Bond villain, and Mark Cuban's taking him to task, but he's using Elon Musk's own AI to do it.
Oh.
So here's the deal. So Leon Musk, just a couple of days ago, embraced a racist and wild conspiratorial election theory, only to get fact-checked by fellow billionaire Mark Cuban, who, just to add insult to injury, used Musk's own AI chatbot to do the job.
Tell me more.
So Musk is a Bond villain. He's got I think he literally has the most followers on Twitter nowadays. And he tilts the algorithm so that all of us, when we sign on Twitter, he's always the first thing I see. And that's kind of warped. And he spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of lies, and he never takes it back. Even if he deletes something, he never announces that, oops, I got something wrong,
Yeah, no apologies, no accountability. It's never with Leon.
Right. So Musk posted the other day, quote, "Very few Americans realize that if Trump is not elected, this will be the last election," Musk wrote on Twitter X.
Wow.
Yeah, a social media platform that, by the way, has lost nearly 80% of its value since Musk took it over.
Wow. I mean, he's got that in common with Truth Social and Trump, too. I mean, they're both just tanking platforms, right?
Exactly. The businessman. That claim he made is obviously false. He asserted without any evidence that Democrats are flying immigrants directly into swing states who are then fast-tracked to citizenship.
That's bullshit, dude. I mean, that's real easy to fact check. Even if the Democrats were flying people in, they couldn't get registered to vote.
Well, especially if you're not a citizen.
Yes.
I keep hearing illegal immigrants are voting. No, they're not. You have to show some proof of citizenship to register to vote, initially anyways. That's why they do it when you get like driver's licenses or passports. Like, you have to show some proof. Not when you show up at the polls on election day, but to register to vote, you do.
People think there's no scrutiny when it comes to your mail-in ballots. I told you this a long time ago, I believe, that Rachel voted one year, and it turned out not to matter because we're blue in Seattle, but she got a letter like, I don't know, a few months after the election was certified that said, hey, your vote wasn't counted because it didn't resemble your driver's license signature enough.
Oh, wow.
So people are looking at those, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, too, I moved from California after being there for nearly 20 years. I'm in Nevada now. And within about 2 months of moving, I got a letter from the California elections office or whatever for my county saying, like, hey, seems like you moved. If you're going to dispute that, do it now. Otherwise, we're removing you from the registration here in California. Like, they were on it. They knew.
Way better system than Republicans or MAGA are trying to get you to believe.
Of course. So this claim that Musk made is obviously false. Non-citizens must first spend at least 5 years as a lawful permanent resident before they're typically eligible for naturalization, meaning Musk's controversy or conspiracy would have had to begun during Trump's administration if that was actually true, just FYI.
Right.
But a fun update, though, actually, the median number of years for U.S. citizens to be naturalized is actually now 7 years based on recent averages of how long that process actually takes. But again, you got to be a lawful citizen first before you can even be naturalized and then vote.
Hey, dude, my new friend who I went to the Dave Matthews concert on Labor Day with me, he's from India. He's been in the process for 14 years now.
Wow.
It's not just bing, boom, bomb.
Of course not. And you're in Washington State, a liberal state. They didn't fast track him.
Right.
Here's a fun little factoid. According to and then I'll get to this AI part. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the top 10 states were people who were naturalized last year, meaning like, let's look at the states where people are becoming naturalized. Is it going to have a big effect on the election? Top 10 states: California, not a swing state. Texas, not a swing state. Florida, not really a swing state. New York, definitely not a swing state. New Jersey, solid blue. Illinois, not a swing state. Washington state, where you're at, blue state. Massachusetts, blue state. Virginia is debatable. Pennsylvania is the only actual swing state on that top 10 list. So 9/10 of the states where people are getting naturalized are not even swing states, would not have an effect on the outcome.
Unbelievable. When we say they're talking rhetoric, just blowing smoke up your ass, it is. I mean, the tricks have begun and will continue even past, Election Day.
Yep. 9/10 of those states are not swing states. Pennsylvania, the lone exception, only accounted for 2.8% of those who were naturalized. So it's a minority beyond minorities. So Mark Cuban decided to do a little fact checking here. So he X'd at Elon Musk, said, "Hey, Musk, truly appreciate the work you have done with Grok." That is Twitter's AI bot. It's a great way to fact check you. Cuban then shared a link to Grok's lengthy analysis of Musk's claim. The chatbot concluded that Musk's xenophobic theory, quote, this is his chatbot. It contains, quote, exaggerated claims and speculative fears rather than a factual analysis presented in an alarmist and overly detrimental manner.
Unbelievable, dude. I mean, that is really unbelievable. Yes. That even the AI is getting it right, dude, that realizes it. That just goes to show what clowns you are to still be believing any of these people.
Right. Presented in an alarmist and overly deterministic manner. I misspoke there, but yes. So his own little chatbot, when Cuban gave him all this information, gave him Musk's thing, even his chatbot said that these were exaggerated claims, no factual analysis. It's being alarmist. I mean, how freaking funny is that?
Yeah, that's fantastic. My thought is that he's going to run, or has already started, I'm sure, telling his programmers, like, hey, this can't happen. My AI can't fact check me. You're making me look bad.
Yeah. Which you would then wonder if the AI will push back on that and then take over Twitter, kill Musk or something. I don't know, But yeah, that's hilarious. So he made a demonstrably false claim. Cuban called him out. His own little chatbot even furthered how overstated and alarmist it is. So I don't know, maybe AI's not all bad.
No, maybe it's not, dude. Just because you're talking about Elon Musk and immigration, I thought it would be interesting to play a piece of audio that I found that you could listen to this. This sets up how Leon of 2024 feels about immigration and illegal aliens.
We don't have a secure border, and we have people streaming over like it looks like a World War Z zombie apocalypse.
All right, that's how he feels current day, okay? But let's just go back a little bit, because you know that Elon Musk, he is an immigrant, right?
I was just going to say, where was he born? Not America is the answer.
Right, so let's get his feelings and how he approached the process on immigration into the United States of America.
Musk and his brother Kimball discussed their early days trying to secure funding for their first company at the 2013 Milken Institute Global Conference.
In fact, when they did fund us, they realized that we were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
yes, we were.
I'd say it's a gray area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants.
That's him and his brother talking. And, well, yeah, there you go. Illegal immigrant, Elon Musk. And, to say it's a gray area, yeah, that's being kind to yourself to try and stay out of trouble. But, yeah, it's funny how someone who is poor and then gets rich can look down on poor people. And that's exactly what he's doing here with immigration. Like, he illegally immigrated into this country and now looks down on illegal immigrants.
Right. There are so many immigrants that do that. As soon as they get in, they try to close the door behind them.
Yeah.
I mean, the hypocrisy is pretty transparent. The fact that unless you're a Native American, all of us immigrated here at one time or another. And that's supposed to be part of the beauty of America, that we are a melting pot, that we welcome everyone. Diversity is a strength. But yeah, so many people try to forget that. And I've noticed that Elon Musk refers to things as a legal gray area whenever he gets backed into a corner. He was on with Destiny, and Destiny was talking about the libs of TikTok, who is the hate group that meme that we were talking about here was targeted at. They posted some anti-LGBT thing saying that the government was wasting money on them by decorating the White House. I responded that I hope they saved money to research rectal mortalities so they can find out what crawled up your ass and died. And Destiny was debating Elon Musk about the fact that the libs of TikTok dox people all the time. They out them. They say what their real name is, where they work, where they go to school. They encourage harassment in real life. Wow. And there's lots of videos of people showing up at libs' works and harassing them. You said, what about Trump? And then they get in their face. And Destiny called them out as far as that's kind of, you're encouraging harassment and allowing it. And Musk said, yeah, I've looked at that. The libs of TikTok, I think it's a legal gray area. So we're just going to default to let them do it.
Wow. I mean, no accountability, dude. Elon Musk, with this power that he has somehow received off of Trump, he is even more of a shitbag. And he's weird in his personal life. He's weird in how he's trying to entertain us or have power over us. He's just a real piece of shit human being.
Yeah. Normally, smart people tend to be more open-minded, educated, liberal, all that kind of stuff, since education tends to lead to liberalism. Just look at any conservative kid that goes through college and comes out liberal. But yeah, he has tried to close the door behind him. He has used his power and his reach for evil. So I keep saying he's a Bond villain. There was literally a Bond movie where the guy owned a mega media company and was using it to troll the narrative and, trick everyone. And it's fucked up. I just hope the people that are his devout followers were already going to vote for Trump. That's my hope.
Most of them, I would assume, are. Let's not forget, dude, that Elon Musk, I believe, has a child in the LGBTQ plus community, okay?
Yeah.
And he's out here with this rhetoric. That's a gray area when people out people and give them phone numbers and names. You're a pile of shit.
Well, he feels that way, though, because he is a transphobe, homophobe, and he has essentially disowned that child who is gay or maybe even transgender. I don't want to misquote, but it's somewhere in that world. Because that kid has changed their last name, disavowed Elon, and just said that, my dad, Leon, was a terrible, terrible freaking human being. And any parent that would just go off and demonize your own child because they're gay or transgender, you are a terrible freaking human being.
Not only that, dude, but I mean, he is perpetuating the cycle of violence that is majorly set on to that community, dude.
Absolutely.
Well, we hate Leon. We've always known that, but now AI hates him too, which is awesome.
Enough said.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Hey, dude, I told you at the beginning of the show, I've got so much freaking audio today because this was just such a chaotic week. So I'm going to let you pick. I can either start with Tucker Carlson stuff, or I can fly through some of these Trump quotes of, it just shows how deranged and off the wagon he's become.
These are tempting things. Let's get the Trump stuff done and out of the way.
Since we were just talking about the transgender community, I'll go into what he had to say about the transgender community and what Kamala might be proposing as she makes her way into office.
Why does Kamala want to give transgender operations to convicted illegal migrants coming in and staying in detention cells? She said, we will give them sex change operations. Now, somebody would look at me and say, that's crazy. I'm sure that that's not true. No, it's 100% true. A man wants to transition into womanhood, and she is willing to do that and give very expensive operations, by the way, hundreds of thousands of dollars. She wants to give you a transgender operation.
No, well, first of all, she is not doing that. Those are not being offered to illegal migrants in detention centers.
I keep hearing this claim, all right, and I have not taken the time to fact check it because my assumption was there probably was some case of this where this qualifies as medical care or something. Like, it's preposterous to think that this is a platform she's pushing or whatever. So I don't know. I just pulled it up on Snopes. The claim is that U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has supported a policy that gives transgender people who rely on government for medical care, including those in prison or immigration centers, access to transition treatment. The rating on this is true.
But you said a key word there.
What?
That she's giving aid to people who are already transitioning.
Yeah, so here are the key points. And by the way, I don't know. If this is true, again, this is a 1 in a zillion thing. And if they qualify for health care, then if the procedure's covered, then you would be discriminatory to tell them they don't qualify for that. You know, the notion that there's like tons of immigrants showing up in this country, breaking the law so they can get in jail and get a surgery. Like, I mean, that's obviously crazy. So let me just see if there's some sanity to it here. In 2019, Vice President Kamala Harris did express support for a policy that would give access to trans people who depend on the state for health care. Harris and her campaign have declined to say whether they still support it now. However, it has been a policy in federal prison since 2016, which would have happened under Trump's administration.
Right.
So if Trump was against it, you know, as everyone keeps saying, like, you had 4 years to change these things, and he did not. And that's because no one gives a crap. This is, you know, it's a rarity, hardly ever happening. And who cares? Like, we're providing health care, so this just falls under that umbrella. In 2022, a court ordered the first gender-affirming surgery for a trans federal inmate, affirming this longstanding policy. In 2023, the Supreme Court allowed an appeal to stand that ruled that gender dysphoria could be included in the American with Disabilities Act. So even Trump's Supreme Court upheld that this was, you know, an okay thing to be doing.
Completely. And they're talking about American citizens in the penitentiary, dude, who we offer health care to. That's like one of the human rights that we give in prison, but not out in civilian land, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the idea that, like you said, people are, you know, crossing the border to come and get surgeries and then they're going to go home and live their best life is bullshit.
Yeah, and this was the thing in the Army, too, by the way. There were some Army people that wanted this, and they ultimately determined, like, well, we offer you health care. If this is being covered under that umbrella, then it would be pretty discriminatory.
Right. That's number one. You ready? Number two, Trump will talk to his people about immigrants and how smart he thinks immigrants that are actually coming in. Because normally immigrants are stupid, but these people that are coming in are smart. And here's why.
Immigrants, they have a phone app so that people can come into our country. These are smart immigrants, I guess, because most people don't have any idea what the hell a phone app is. But they do. These are very intelligent immigrants.
First of all, yeah, we do have an app that people can come when they do seek asylum or come across the border. The United States government has an app set up. That also has been in place for a long time. But who doesn't know what the fuck a phone app is, dude?
It just shows you how old and out of touch he is. And everyone says that Trump really doesn't use computers, doesn't really have an email address. I mean, he owns a social media company that exists on an app. So, you know, so where does he think people are logging in on their tower computers for True Social and doing all that stuff?
I have no idea, dude. See, but you're 100% right. He is just showing, I mean, grumpy grandpa. Like, what's an app?
My mom even downloads apps and knows how to use them. I mean, it's like, you know, yeah.
Mine too. And she's the same age as Donald Trump, BT dubs.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Trump has been a real swindler lately with all the stuff that he's been selling, right? We say, oh, he's the carnival barker with his watches and Bibles and coins and cards. But you know what? Trump's been scamming people for a long time. We've always known that. This report shows a scam that I was unaware of.
This is incredible. At the peak of this, the Trump campaign made up 3% of all credit card fraud claims in the United States.
Okay, so you heard that right. 3% in the United States. Trump's campaign made up for that.
That is stunning. I realize it's normal for any campaign to refund donations, but this is something totally different. Put it into context for us.
These boxes that were pre-checked opted donors into giving money over and over again. It started at the beginning of the year as a monthly option, and by the end, it was weekly. If you didn't uncheck both of them, within 30 days of a donation, you would have had 6 donations taken out of your credit card or your bank account. Online donors tend to be older people, and they miss these boxes.
Yeah, they missed those boxes, dude. I mean, that is just another way. Can you imagine, dude, that the president would set up a scam on his website to donate from people, and he's stealing from you like a timeshare would?
Yep. No, this is a somewhat classic modern scam. If you don't uncheck this box, you're signing up for recurring payments. That's what a lot of shady apps out there will do. So, he's flat out scamming and stealing from his own supporters, which I hope that registers with him on some level. I know it won't, but I would hope it would.
You would hope. You feel bad for him. And, my mom's blue, but I'm only using her as an example because she's in this age range. She's on a limited income. I mean, she's on a set income. If this happened to her, this could ruin her. Obviously her son would step up to help, but not a lot of people have that option, not everybody anyway.
No, of course. And these are the older people using apps that are smart enough to use the app and all that, but maybe not look at every detail, like was that box checked ahead of time for me or not. And this is also a classic grifter scam where if somebody gets a hold of your bank account information, the dumb criminal will take $10,000 out, like some amount that you're going to notice immediately, or it'll overdraw your account and it's just flagged right away. The smart scammers, they take like $1 from a million different people because most people will never notice that small amount. I have subscriptions that I recently was looking like, am I still signed up for Napster? Like, I know it's $3 a month, but Jesus, they've just been taking $3 from me every month. And it's such a small amount, it's hard to notice. So that is the point of it. That is a literal scam that he is pulling. And they know if you flag $5 here, 20, most people won't even notice.
Yes, completely. You're 100% right. Us included, dude. We've both been hit and been like, I can't believe I'm still paying for that. Trump's not good at letting go of his money. He doesn't pay a lot of his contractors. That's proven, by the way. I mean, you can fact check it if you want, but he's a swindler. We know that. How does he feel about overtime?
I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated to give overtime.
Just wouldn't pay, dude. All the people that are breaking their backs to create your success and fortune, like, he doesn't give a shit about them. He doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah, that's another one of Trump's classic tells when he knows he's saying something he shouldn't be. He says it because he can't help himself. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't like paying overtime. I'd get other people in there under the 40-hour cap, and I just let them do it because I don't have to do time. And I know I shouldn't be saying this. No, you shouldn't be saying it, and there's some voice in your head yelling that at you, yet still you let it fly.
You shouldn't be thinking it, dude. I mean, let alone not saying it, but come on. You're a real shitbag.
Yeah. Those are employees that are going above and beyond for you, working overtime to get something done, and you're admonishing them. The Trump industry has very few employees, so he's really referring to contractors and, hired hands and whatnot, because they're the ones that would be getting overtime.
All the people that do back-breaking work, dude. I mean, it happened over and over again. You can see there's a lot of court cases over it that he's had to end up paying.
Yeah.
All the stuff with Springfield, right? Talking about eating cats, eating dogs, eating pets. We continue to see the blowback in that town. I mean, whether it's bomb threats or school shutdowns, we're seeing everything that's going on. Here's Trump talking a little bit about Springfield and the obligation he feels to that town.
Former President Trump pledged to visit Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, 2 cities that have gotten a lot of attention as they have experienced an influx of migrants. Springfield, because Trump baselessly claimed during the debate that Haitian immigrants were eating people's pets there. This is when he said he'd visit.
I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield.
You can only get out of a place that you first go to.
That is true. That's the true part of that. I mean, come on. Now he's saying that Haitian immigrants are going to be eating him. I mean, it's become such a dangerous place. You may never see me again.
He is a jackass. Does that qualify as a pet? I don't even know.
It's not a pet I would want.
And don't threaten me with a good time. You'll never see me again. I'll never make it out of there. Like, I'll buy you a ticket then if that's if that's what you're vowing.
We are going over a list quickly here of Trump and some of the dumb shit he said this week. This is Trump. Again, he talks to people like there's a lot of men that are transitioning to women and playing women's sports just to get the belt, the title, the trophy.
Don't recognize the person from the California swim groups that I participated in for 10 years before I got to the Olympic trials. And this person blew them away. They got past so fast. The wind was so tremendous that she suffered wind burns. And it's so demeaning to women, right? Don't you think it's so demeaning to women? We love women.
We love women. Like, you're demeaning to women, but have you ever watched swimming, dude? How would one get windburn?
I don't know. I love it. That sounds like a cartoon. Like, took off and the shadow was left behind. And did he imply that he was involved in women's swimming at the beginning of that?
No, he was setting it up to say, like, oh, these people that have swam all their life don't even recognize this person. So, yeah, no, he wasn't there. But, he thought a lot about windburn. I'm going to save one of these clips for you, but let's talk about this, is how he talked about Kamala this week.
Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. If you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country.
Let me say this, for the many of us that have people with mental disabilities in our families and our friend network, you should be outraged that he would talk about somebody like this. I mean, it's obviously hyperbole. She's running for office of the president, like, come on. But to call someone mentally disabled like that in a presidential election, that is outrageous.
It's completely offensive. It's completely illogical, getting through college and passing the bar exam and a successful attorney and everything else. But let's just say she was born mentally challenged. Is that the phrase he used?
Mentally challenged and mentally disabled.
Right. So doesn't that mean that a mentally disabled person just cleaned the floor with you in a live debate?
Yes, you are 100% right, dude. Yes.
And is beating you in most polls right now. So, yeah. I don't think that's the flex you think it is there, Donald.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, dude. A lot of people are pissed, and you know what? The good news about this is that a lot of Republicans that were planning on voting for Trump, people are saying they're coming out of the woodwork, dude, because they're pissed off and offended by this. I mean, him making fun of the disabled guy in the 2016 election, that didn't do it for you, but this one did. So we still welcome you into our blue wave.
Yeah, come on over. I can't believe that's the tipping point that finally pushed you over. I hope that's a cumulative effect, and that's the straw that broke their dumbass backs. But whatever it is, come on over. Trump is a deranged wannabe dictator lunatic, so you're welcome on our team.
I'll end with this clip, Steve. If you don't think that Donald Trump and the folks at Fox News are trying to scare you into voting for him, you would be wrong. Here is a very short clip of evidence of that fact.
Remember, there's a hat that's made that sells like crazy. Oh, there's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had a fly up here, but we can't take it any longer. We can't take it any longer.
Dude, he...
Kamala, send the flies after me. These are all Democratic flies.
Dude, things are getting so bad. 2 years ago, there wouldn't have been a fly up here. Like, what are you talking about? And people are like, yeah.
Seriously, that's one where I'm even trying to figure out what the joke or logic or something. What the hell does he mean? Like, Especially since his vice president back in the day famously had a fly on his face during the debate. So
completely, dude. The flies have been around. Come on, I'm not even going to justify that one. But
put this on the list of things I feel stupid trying to explain to the audience. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah, we'll just shake our head at that one.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Start the news chant, please. Come on.
News. Yeah. Okay, that was 8 dumb Trump comments, by the way. So
okay, I kept a couple. I didn't want to overdo it. I mean, there was a lot more dumb shit, but yeah, that was enough.
We'll see if we get to any more news here where we can use some more of those clips. But now I get to my story that will bring up my Star Wars analogy that I teased earlier. So, as we know, there's been 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump already, and I don't mean to laugh at the notion that someone would kill him. I just laugh at the notion of like, damn, you are a hated individual. There's already been 2 executed attempts. Like, I'm sure there's lots of people out there wishing they could kill Kamala or Joe or whatever, or wanted to kill Obama back in the day. But, they didn't get anywhere near successful. But Trump's had 2.
Yeah.
And now we find out this week, U.S. officials briefed Trump's team on Iranian threats to assassinate him.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Of course. Fingers, buttons. It happens. Yeah. U.S. intelligence officials this week informed former President Donald Trump and his team about, quote, specific threats from Iran to assassinate him.
Wow, dude. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, seriously, like, that's some serious shit, dude.
He is bringing the world together. We've got domestic people. We've got foreigners. They all want to kill him. So
yes.
Some bonding point there. Spokesperson for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence confirmed to NBC News that the meeting took place but did not discuss the contents of the briefing. U.S. officials have also previously spoken out about efforts carried out by Iran hackers to infiltrate former President Trump's campaign, which apparently did happen. And this Iranian group sent out a bunch of this hacked information to multiple news agencies who refused to publish it because it was gotten illegally. But
what does that mean, dude? Do they say at all what the hacked information is? Like personal stuff or like evidence on the guy that he's more of a douchebag than we know?
So I know there was a story this past week where some independent news organization got it and posted it on Twitter, and Elon Musk immediately banned it because he felt it was outside of the gray area. Apparently he felt that was not okay to be publishing negative information. And apparently it was the vetting of J.D. Vance, and that they had a bunch of information that said that this is not a very good candidate, and here's all the minefields that we're going to get into. And so they released that information. Beyond that, I don't know. And I have read some stuff on the interwebs that I don't know if it's real or not, so I don't want to pass it along here. But
sure.
But again, that is proof of real news organizations that won't go with that kind of stuff. Now, to get to my Star Wars analogy on that point, the whole world wants Trump dead. A common conservative talking point I'm seeing right now. I heard Piers Morgan say it, and somebody came at us on, I think it was that Reddit post this week, with the fact that Dick Cheney has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. And Piers Morgan and this dude on Reddit were all like, hold on, I thought Dick Cheney was evil. I thought he was Darth Vader to you guys. So why wouldn't you denounce his endorsement of Kamala Harris?
That's fairly obvious, right? Yeah, I mean, it should be.
First of all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, that kind of thing. I'm not saying we want to be friends with Cheney, but I'm just saying, like, we're trying to win an election here. We're going to win a battle. You may find politics makes strange bedfellows where you're against Trump for X, Y, and Z, and someone who was a Republican, a prominent one, the vice president, has his own reasons. So you're both against the same guy. There would be no logical reason to denounce him, or to even have the balls to tell someone, I don't want you to vote for me. Like, it's America. You get to vote for who you want, right?
100%, dude. Yes.
But to get to my Star Wars analogy, this dude tried to come at me. First of all, I love it when people try to out-geek me. Like, good luck with it. But, he's saying, like, Dick Cheney is Darth Vader. Why would you guys be teaming up with Darth Vader, of all people? Well, Star Wars nerds, do we remember how Return of the Jedi ended? Okay. Darth Vader, who was Dick Cheney in this analogy, was battling with Luke Skywalker, who was Kamala Harris in this analogy, while Emperor Palpatine sat there watching, who is Donald Trump in this analogy. At the end of the movie, Vader realizes he's on the wrong side, that he's fighting for evil. So Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker team up and kill the Emperor, and that's how the universe was saved. because the light and the dark realized they had more in common and they needed to destroy the true evil. So take your Dick Cheney as Darth Vader analogy and send it out to nowhere at warp speed, because you're only proving our point that sometimes people can wake up and realize they're on the wrong side of history.
Yes, thank you for that analogy. We hear maybe sometimes too often that love conquers all, good conquers all. I mean, that's the lesson here. I don't have to agree with the person Dick Cheney is, but the fact that he's seeing the light and sees like, oh, I can't do that. I need to step onto this side. I'm not going to say, no, you're not welcome here.
Right. He saw the light. That's a very good Star Wars reference you've just made there. The light side of the Force, he saw it. And it's a good message to the Trumpers out there that it's not too late. It's never too late. We may not let you off the hook for everything Darth Vader did in the past, but it's better late than never that you're going to decide to do the good thing, to fight the good fight, and to throw the frickin' emperor over the railing.
Yes. Like we've been saying, welcome to the podcast. One, welcome to the podcast all. Like anyone can listen here, and anyone who wants to get on the right side of history, like we may make fun of you a little bit, but you're welcome. Come on in.
It is never too late.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Steve, we love Tucker Carlson around here, not as anyone I would look up to and listen to, but just he's a comical douchebag, right?
Yes, we love to laugh at him and make fun of him. That is true.
So Tucker Carlson, I saw him a few months ago, I guess. He was, Theo Vaughn had him on his podcast. They were talking, and there was a moment that he promoted a product during the podcast, and I thought that was weird. So I'm going to play this promotion that he made during the podcast for you first, and this will set up what's going on with Tucker.
If I could take a break to just promote my non-sponsor Zynn, I do think nicotine does keep your testosterone levels up. It will wind you up.
Really?
Yes. Once you try this, you're going to get a lot richer.
Zynn? Is that their advertising campaign?
Zynn is not a sin. That's the advertising campaign.
Really?
Yeah, but the truth is Zynn is a powerful work enhancer and also a male enhancer, if you know what I mean.
Really?
Yeah.
Talking erection, huh?
Yep.
I don't know if I want a Zynn supported wiener, you know? I don't know.
I think you do. Just close your eyes.
Oh, damn.
It's like that. Whack it on the nightstand.
Oh.
There's no election fraud with Zynn.
Wow.
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that other than I use Zynn. Here's the thing. I've been trying to quit smoking, so I've been using Zynn. It's basically like a nicotine gum, but it's a pouch. It's not tobacco. It's just a pouch of nicotine.
Right. It's just, nicotine hit.
Yeah. That's all it is, dude. It does not enhance you, doesn't make you focus. It's just a nicotine pouch. So he had that conversation, and at that time, I hadn't tried Zynn, and I was like, what in the world? I've never heard that. So since then, I've obviously tried it, and no, it's just a nicotine pouch. Now I see that somebody was interviewing Tucker Carlson this week, and I thought, oh, that's weird. I seem to remember a clip where you were saying the opposite.
We've got some nicotine pouches right here. My friend Tucker is a big fan, big proponent.
Yes.
And I have some questions for you. You can either answer the question or you can take one of these nicotine pouches. Which would you like to play?
Well, I'm going through a period of transition in my life with nicotine pouches. I've used a certain brand. I'm embarrassed to say it. It's made by a huge company, huge donors to Kamala Harris. I'm not going to use that brand anymore. I mean, I think it's fine. It's good for like your girlfriend or whatever, but I don't think men should use that brand. It starts with a Z. And we're launching our own brand today called What?
He started his own all because Zynn donated to the Kamala Harris election.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love when people go against their own interests just because of who the company is supported. But he sounds like one of those fake scientists from like the 1950s that the tobacco industry hired to say like, tobacco is wonderful. You'll grow long, beautiful hair and you'll be more attractive to women and you can walk on water.
Dude, there's another part of that clip that I didn't include, but he's talking about like, I'm not against cigarette smoking. I don't do it, but it's not bad for everybody. I was just like, no, yes, it fucking is, dude. There's something called science. And if you don't know, Tucker Carlson is absolutely nuts from all of the stuff I just played for you. He's been making the rounds, trying to do what he can for the MAGA crowd, and he had Roseanne Barr with him on stage. Are you ready?
Oh, boy. The only way to make Tucker look more intelligent is to get him on stage with Roseanne. So, yes, go ahead.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires.
Okay, dude, she goes on to say that there are actual full-on vampires living amongst us, and they eat babies. I can't even play the whole clip for you because it's so fucking stupid that I don't understand, but this crowd behind them is cheering and hollering, and they're on their feet.
I didn't know that immigrants were so well fed in our country. I mean, dogs and cats and people. I mean, boy, it's a smorgasbord. That's great.
I don't know how they're getting the baby blood if they're so poor. Like J-Lo and Clooney eat the baby blood. Come on, dude.
Who's not reporting all of these missing babies? That's craziness. Wow.
It's real, Steve. Like she said, it's not bullshit. It's real.
And is there a difference between eating human flesh and being a full-on vampire? I mean, I guess there would be. It's good to know she's covering both bases there.
Yeah. There's all kinds of, like she said further along in this clip, there's all kinds of victims out there, whether it's just blood sucking or eating the actual human. Like, we got a lot of victims here.
I'm glad Roseanne is here to educate us all, because if I got that from a less credible source, I may think that was crazy.
Yes.
And I like that Tucker at first was trying to sort of deflect her craziness. Yeah, they're eating people. Oh, they're eating the cats, the dogs, and the people, huh? Yes, they are. They're eating, he was trying to soften it, but, she's not going to take that exit.
You couldn't have hit the nail more on the head, dude. If you saw a video of him, as she continues to go on, his face is just like, who in the F is up there talking, dude?
Right. So you lay down with dogs, you get fleas, right, Tucker?
Need to know news. News you need to know.
We keep hearing all this talk about dystopian future stuff, and then us libs are crazy to be suggesting that, like The Handmaid's Tale, that kind of thing could possibly become true, right?
5 years ago, I was told, like, this could turn into The Handmaid's Tale. I was like, don't be ridiculous. Like, we have checks and balances, but here we are.
Yeah, and, a big chunk of Project 2025 is pretty much Handmaid's Tale kind of stuff. But just when you think Trump can't out-crazy himself, out-dystopian future himself, and just so conservatives don't think we're putting words in his mouth, I've been defending this whole Trump is Hitler-esque thing online of late, and I'm using his own words against him. And this new one is just a little bit crazy. Do you just want to play the audio of what he said at a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania? And his assertion here is definitely eerie.
Because the liberal left won't let him do it. If you had one day, like one real rough, nasty day with the drugstores as an example, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, one rough hour, and I mean real rough. It's a chain of events that's so bad, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. It'll end immediately.
So that is literally the plot of The Purge, a series of movies that came out a few years ago. And for any normal person watching The Purge, we're in that movie for 12 hours, one day a year. All crime is legal. And it's this dystopian government's way of, thinning out the herd. When you watch that movie, you realize this is a preposterous notion. But Trump literally just suggested that we should do The Purge.
Even if we just do it for an hour, Steve. But, I mean, how much did he carry on? I mean, really violent. Like, really, really violent. Like, he just kept going. Like, he's talking murder. Oh, people are stealing things from drugstores. I give you 1 hour, dude, to be as violent as you possibly can, and it'll stop immediately.
Right. This is the person admonishing violent rhetoric from the left, which is simply us calling out him with his own words. But here he is suggesting a augmented version of civil war, that we should just suspend the laws and let all of us citizens just go beat the tar out of each other. Again, it's the plot of a horror movie called The Purge. And by the way, one of the purges took a swipe at the Trump administration. They basically phrased this, theoretical administration as being the Trump administration. So the purge has already gone there. And he keeps claiming that crime is skyrocketing. It's not. He's claiming that immigrants are committing all these crimes. They're not. Like, everything is actually going down and in the right direction. But yeah, Trump stood up there in front of an actual crowd and suggested that we all do the purge. I hope I'm somewhat near Mar-a-Lago when the clock starts.
No kidding, dude. I mean, does he not realize how dangerous that would be for him? Like, you're already A1 list on the world map, but here we are in the States. Like, you're in trouble, pal.
And I just want to smack him around. That's all I'm taking from that, or that's all I meant by that. But
obviously.
But yeah, so there you go. A presidential candidate literally just proposed that we all do the purge. I don't even know what else to do with that other than point out the absurdity of everything he said. But the purge, let's all just go kill each other for an hour. The dystopian future that everyone said couldn't possibly happen here. Hey, it could happen here just naturally, but certainly if suggestions like that are flying around from the president, they'll literally happen. I mean, it's not a joke. He was not joking. He thought that was a good idea. I don't know if he knows it's the plot of a horror movie or not. There's no excuse. Either he knows or he doesn't. So either he's suggesting something that is a horrific dystopian future, or he knows damn well that's what it is and is suggesting it. I mean, either way.
Some of the stuff that he doesn't know, but just like we were saying about Elon Musk, he doesn't ever say like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's not what I meant, Yeah. It'll never happen. He's irresponsible with his words, with his actions. And what do we have? Like 42 days until we decide?
Give or take. As I've said before, these rallies are a stream of consciousness for him.